Before he left, it's as if he knew. He handed over the business to me, all right, and said, "You people should start meeting." This information I'm giving now is for how Ifesinachi has transformed, to what it is today. The children now, most especially the male children, are directors, shareholders of the company, right? And it was a meeting that he himself set up. Transportation industry in Nigeria is one of the most difficult business and one of the best. I've managed the business, left it for politics, and now I'm back again. Ifesinachi is reached a certain limit that it was, but I'm hopeful that in the next couple of months, it's growing already. We're going to be back fully as what people used to know about Ifesinachi. I don't see why brothers cannot be brothers, and then brothers will be more brother to who is not their brother. For me, I would want to say that it's my children that should be seeing me as that, because I'm seeing my father as a man that struggled to make it. I didn't struggle that much, so my children should be seeing me as a son of a rich man, because my father was not a rich man. So I'm the rich man's son.
Here we are in Enugu to meet with Prince Emeka Mamah, Ideh of UGWUOKE, the Prince of UGWUOKE, Ideh of Enugu Ezike. He is the first son of Ifesinachi Motors, J.O Mamah, Igwe of UGWUOKE, the Igwe of Enugu State, member, People Club of Nigeria. You know who he is. He's a great man. He's an industrious, and we are here to tell his story. So we're here to meet the first son, which is Prince Emeka Mamah, who will tell us more about his father, about the great man J.O Mamah, Igwe Enugu Ezike. Let's go. Stay tuned. This will be interesting. You want to
go? Prince Emeka Mamah. My name. I'm from UGWUOKE in Igbos local government. Married to Ideh Mamah. She's a lawyer, and by the special grace of God, we have 3 children.
Okay, so we're here to you to tell us the story of your father, the great man J.O Mamah, Igwe Enugu State. He was a member of the Club of Nigeria. He's the CEO Ifesinachi Motors, the popular Ifesinachi Motors. So, and the name is ringing a bell in our ear. How he made that kind of money as of then, just immediately after the war. So, tell us history, your father's history. So, our audience will be happy to hear from you.
To start talking about my dad, now, if I should go into it, I may not be able to say much, about him. The little I know may also not be exhausted, but I have to say the much I know. My father died at the age of 66. He was the last child of his father, and he didn't know his father. He didn't know his mother. Mother had him shortly then after birth and died. He was raised under the care of the most senior brother, who took very good care of him until he finished his primary school, standard 6, and had admission at Chukwu High School at Onitsha. From there, he could not also continue with the school because of of where he was coming from. The background wasn't very buoyant. It was the other brother that took care of every of the needs he had as at that time. So there was nothing much that could have also sustained his education. So he left school for as a log boy in Sapele. From Sapele, he worked just as like I said, a log boy before he took ill and was also rushed back to the village and was treated then of the illness that almost took him, took his life. So by the time he got back, he got well and then got back. He went back to that nature and started. Well, he served there briefly. He mentioned one Broderick's that he served before he eventually went solo and started pushing a truck. So my dad was actually a truck pusher, who pushed trucks from the street of our nature, from the Mbuka side, from the timber side to main market and all those places. And he did all that until when he started saving money to have a vehicle of his own, that he bought us at that time. Before the war came, he left that vehicle somewhere in Ninobi, came back, and till when the war was over, fortunately for him, by the time he returned back to Ninobi, where he left the vehicle in a friend's place, the vehicle was still there. And that was how he continued with the vehicle he had as at that time until God continued to bless him. From that vehicle to 911, which they used to call Gongoro. And then we also grew from that Gongoro to luxury buses. And that was the genesis of the beginning, the genesis of the luxury bus transportation, which started with the 0364. So, and he as he continued in that light, he ventured into other businesses, ranging from banking to the industry itself, the vegetable oil industry, which he established, and so many numerous businesses, during the period. So I can say that he is a child of destiny, whom God had blessed through dint of hard work. And today, we are his children are enjoying those, his legacies that he left behind. So this is just an abridged story of Igwe J.O Mamah, who happens to be my father.
Okay. So do you know anything about our social life? As in, was a member of People of Nigeria and other things?
Yeah, Igwe actually was a member of the People's Club of Nigeria. As at that time, both Osita Osadebe and Oliver de Coke had his name. He was among those top people that was recognized in that music by Oliver de Coke and Osita Osadebe, as at that time. Socially also, he played lawn tennis. He was a registered member of Nature Sports Club. As at that time too. That's where he had his last time. He loves football, though he didn't play. But before he left, Liverpool was his team. So Igwe was a jolly good. He enjoyed every aspect of life. every aspect of life. You see him, being the traditional ruler of the community. Happened around 19, if I should be precise, maybe around 1987 or 88, thereabout. Not very sure. But he was made the Igwe of the Ozi ancient kingdom. The Ozi kingdom is comprises of about 22 villages, in Enugu. And these 22 villages today have been balkanized into smaller communities where we have autonomous. Many of them, as at that time, there was the traditional ruler of those 22 communities, and these are large communities. Yeah. Which, if I can remember, one of those communities happened to be Omida, Igogoro, Ubaike, where I will come from. We have Umop, we have Ipamodo, and so many of them that I can remember. So many of them, I can remember.
So he was the king of Uzi. So how did he become the king? Was his father? Was he from a royal family?
No, well, just like I told you, he never knew his dad, and he never knew his mom, and from the clan, my clan, the name of the clan that we come from, or he is from, is Ameze. That clan is called Ameze, and Ameze is Baike. So, and I don't know the history behind the name or what, but the people of Ozi on their own, through the eldest man as at that time, gave him that throne, and was recognized by the Enugu state government as at that time.
Okay. So as a 4 months, as your father, as you are growing up, what is it like growing up as a son of billionaire?
Oh well, it has not been easy, under my father, and I thank God that it was like that. He is somebody that doesn't want to see a young growing man, being idle. He always want, to see that any young growing man should be very active, in so many things. He should be working. He should be seen to be being very productive. That's Igwe, for me and for so many people that may have come across him, and that was the life he lived, and we most of us, took that from him, right? And it has been very helpful for the family. There's nobody who passed through Igwe who has not been successful. Almost all the people that passed through him are very hardworking people, and it's because of his nature, and that's why people who have passed through him knows that this man has been like this. They're also continuing in that direction. So it's not about being a son of a billionaire. That does not put food on the table. Well, I learned quite a lot from him, and I thank God today that has also put me in the right direction. All right, and it has been very, very helpful also for the family, because a family now is a family of 12 children, 6 boys, six girls. Almost all are married, except for the very younger ones. Maybe about 2 or 3 of them are not married now. The rest are married with children. So the family is very big now, and God has been very faithful. We live as one family, and why we are living like that is because these are the things the demand has, which our father has put before us before he left. So it's all about being the son of a rich man or a billionaire. He was. For me, I would want to say that my my children that should be seeing me as that, because I'm seeing my father as a man that struggled to make it. I didn't struggle that much, so my children should be seeing me as a son of a rich man, because my father was not a rich man, you know. So I'm the rich man's son that I've got children, you know. So that's how I'm seeing this life.
So from outside, people tell you and your siblings are having differences after your father passed on, especially the company. You know, the company is not much like as of 1970, 1980 and 1980. So how do you want, what do you want to say about that?
You know, success goes with a whole lot of envy. You know, I would say that the prayers, you know, at that time by people, possibly is the children will also go the way of other businesses gone bad. You know, and, no one is no one is God. You know, and no one is can be another person. So it's only you that also tell yourself, look, you have to be this, all right, and you have to do what, carry everybody along, all right. Ours is a very successful story. Transiting from Igwe was not difficult. Okay, before he left, it's as if he knew. He handed over the business to me, all right, and said, "You people should start meeting." This information I'm giving now is for how Ifesinachi has transformed, to what it is today, and it's something that I want to share with the wider world. Okay, because the children now, most especially the male children, are directors, shareholders of the company, right? And it was a meeting that he himself set up, which we did, and everything was discussed. We had our consultants in that meeting, and we discussed, came back to him, and briefed him that this is what the minutes of the meeting was read to him. There and then, he had to call for his checkbooks, called for his stamp, called for the office, the seal of the office, and brought it, and then handed over before my brothers and sisters, you know. And thereafter, we had food and drinks. So nobody knew that my father would pass on shortly after that. I don't think he stayed more than up to a year that we had to travel to US for the treatment, for his treatment or checkup, and then that was the last, we had of him. And it has been like that. So it's people can wish, but it's for you also to know that this should be the direction. I don't see why brothers cannot be brothers, and then brothers will be more brother to who is not their brother. Even if the man is marrying 30 wives, those children from those women are bearing the man's name. They are not bearing their mother's name. So they should be seen as brothers. But in situations why businesses established by a man who is polygamous, why they don't last beyond the man is because their fight will come in, people will want more, they will believe more from outsiders more than their own brothers. And when you listen to outsiders more than your own brother, they are bound to have problems. So those issues are issues that brothers and sisters should come home, sit down, discuss, say your challenges, let others have it. There is nobody that doesn't have brain. Any spiritual agreement should prevail, and you work with it. And that is how the family has operated all this while. you know. So for the business not doing very well, not everybody will have that determination, that courage, and that resilience, you know, that patience to manage, especially a transport company. Not everybody. Transport Transportation industry in Nigeria is one of the most difficult business and one of the best. You know, because most of the people we even employ are people that are not graduates. You know, we have people that did not go to school. You know, you buy a bus of that worth more than 200 to 300 million and you give it to an illiterate who doesn't know. Okay? Who does not know anything. The only thing he knows is that he can drive. What the value of the vehicle he is handling, he doesn't know. And you buy it and give it to such person, and the person will just be, you know, flunging it just like that. All right? So for us, I've managed the business, left it for politics, and now I'm back again. I just started last year. I've not come back this year because I'm around here to see that I connect other batch. Ifesinachi is reached a certain limit that it was, but I'm hopeful that in the next couple of months, it's growing already. We're going to be back fully as what people used to know about Ifesinachi.
Okay, yeah, so I love that. I love that. So, which means Ifesinachi can never die.
Ifesinachi is the legacy is on. It's continuous.
Yeah, I love that. So, I wanted to ask you because if you go around every city in Nigeria, the park, like the station, stay intact. Like as in, if you do the workshop where you're going to Onitsha, you see Ifesinachi, they have a lot of buses, and you have an arise. The every park, all the property are intact. Some of his colleagues have sold everything. Are you not tempted to sell everything, or maybe let's just divide it? Why did you still keep and still want to come in?
Honest, to be frank with you, it's there is no property. For a man to have a property is, to my understanding, is when the time for, you know, when that challenging time comes, you know, you fall back to property you have, you can sell it, you can dispose to have money and go back to it again, you know. So it's possibly this could be the reasons why you see all your experiences. We have told you, look, these ones that have sold there are so many houses, you know, possibly to invest it in another thing. That investment, if they don't put eye into that investment, that money will just go like that. You know, so, and that is the reason why, you know, things are going the way they are going. I can tell you, just like I said, to be frank and honest, we have sold. Right? We have sold the properties, you know, to be afloat. So it is not the same as one person, okay, struggling to have made what he made and having children, right? That children or the children, each of them have their own individual interest.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
And they have to grow. If all the children come into that particular business, and if it's not managed properly, that business will collapse.
Okay.
Okay. So
yes.
I can tell you that yes, we have you know sold off to balance.
Yeah.
And whatever you see in order for possibly for them also to sell and do what, have money for them to venture into whatever they want to venture. Yeah. So it's
a balanced situation. So you took after your father. I like that because there's two questions I have to ask you. Maybe you answer the two of them once. Number one is when Ifesinachi the J.O Mamah he's saying oh if I play in the Igbo. More than
Ohabuenyi.
Ohabuenyi. So, what remarkable thing can you call like he did to Ezike Oba as a whole? That you can proudly say, okay, my father at least made this today, and I'm proud to say it. That you want to do better.
Yeah, quickly. I can proudly tell you that about 80% of the people of Igbos in North, you know, they have passed through Igwe J.O Mamah. Okay, not just working directly with him. So many families may have been fed through working with. So many people also would have even used his name. All right, uh, for business relationship or business acquiring a business. And I can probably tell you that I know about these people who come to me and tell me that they use my father's name to go to a place to discuss business and tell them that is Igwe J.O Mamah's son, and business will go. Okay, so and he had empowered a whole lot of our people, and going further down his contributions to the society as he was the former chairman of chiefs in Enugu State. He also dating back to this stadium that was built, Nandia's Kiva Stadium. He was one of those people were amongst the highest donors for the building of this stadium as at that time. So he has done quite a lot of social corporate responsibilities, to the society he belonged. Yeah, so the testimonies are there. It's not something for me to say. It's the people that know him that can say more.
Okay. Okay, so there is a company, IFEX. So the company IFEX, so it's related to Ifesinachi. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, IFEX is an offshoot of Ifesinachi, and it came on board around 1998. How that business started was like a miracle, and also a course of destiny. We happen to be the very first indigenous courier company in Nigeria. We started it first, and it happened that a woman who uh, came to the office to send something to the son, who is a student at University of Nigeria no campus, to send money through a driver. You know, as at that time, they might have been doing it possibly without our knowledge, or maybe that could be the first time. Nobody can say. But this driver that the woman gave money to ate that money. The money could not reach the son. So, and each of the time, the woman would come to the office to look for the driver to know what happened, because the son kept on communicating with her that this money had not reached. And this other driver was also avoiding seeing this woman, until one day the woman asked after who is in charge of this particular office at Lagos. And that was how I met her. And we discussed. I said, okay, you know the person? Yes. Then come back so time. The driver will be around so that we will meet. By the time the woman got back, the driver was around. I called her in, called the driver in. The driver saw the woman and started, crying that he had challenges. And that was why he did what he collected the money given to him to give to the child. You know. So I said, okay, how much was that? He mentioned. I said, the woman, okay, we'll pay you the money. We're going to get this money off this man. And that was how the business struck. So IFEX came up from the name Ifesinachi, and shortenly they used X as Express.
Yeah.
IF is Ifesinachi. Joined the two, it became IFEX. And had to call a meeting of the workers and did a recruitment. We started with this money transfer then, joined it with delivery of parcels and letters before we went into cargo. So that was how IFEX started.
Okay, so you is a cargo. You bring goods from all over the places.
We can send anything sendable, any part of the world, any part of the country. We have an office in London currently, and we send things from London to Nigeria. Other Western countries we have not. We already for now doing London route, but from Nigeria we'll go anywhere, any part of the world.
Okay, from Nigeria, if you want to send anything out, any part of the world,
Anywhere to North America, England, be the Asia, anywhere we send.
Wow, that is amazing. So then, you are talking about your father, and again, many people don't know who we are with. He's a Oga Docha, Uganda Oga, one billionaire, not half of it. But Papa, but Nukwa Fakobo, Oya in Ekokia. So then, how is life in politics? Because I know you are a politician. I have contested for governorship. It's like I don't know how many times, but I know you have contested for governorship, and you have heard like the posts in government office. So can you give us a background on that and your next target, what you want to do, and
I ran for that office of governor of Enugu State in 2007. That election, at the primaries, I stopped. I lost there, and that was when Sullivan emerged. At the second term of His Excellency Sullivan Chime, I served as his special advisor on transport. And after that, I continued. I ran for House of Reps. I left PDP for APGA, ran that election, won that election, and it was rigged. Came back to PDP, okay, and ran for the same office of the House of Reps, and stopped at the primaries. So the only major election I can say that I've run in this country is that House of Reps under APGA, that I represented them as the candidate. The other ones ended up in the primaries. So the only election I've run in this country, as an individual, is that of the general election where I ran under APGA. Then 2023 was made the coordinator for P2B presidential campaign council in Enugu. I coordinated that election, and with the support of so many of us, we know what happened. Enugu delivered 95%. There's not been any election done at that magnitude in Enugu State. They will achieve that. And under that, we had seven National Assembly members, two senators, and two senators and about five House of Reps, cut across the three zones, and in the state assembly, we almost swept you know, the whole state.
Yeah.
So the results are there.
Yeah,
and this thing happened when I was the coordinator for that particular 2023 elections.
Okay. So do you have a mind on contesting again for any seat? And again, if you give opportunity to become a new state governor, so what are you going to do different?
Well, if that opportunity comes again to run, and I have the support of the people, I wouldn't disappoint them. The challenges that we have in this country is that genuine and people who had won elections are, at the end of the day, not the ones that are serving the people. Due to rigging and the things that happen in our courts. So our democracy, we want to say, is still growing. I do hope that the electoral laws will have to be strengthened so that if it is ease, people will know that ease means ease. So if it was wars, people will know that this is wars. Not when an interpretation of a transfer becomes an issue from transmitting. It makes a whole system not being informed of who actually won this particular election. All right. So if that opportunity comes and the people say, you have to go for another election, why not? I won't refuse them.
Okay.
I have to give it another shot.
I love that. You fight to the end.
Yes.
Your children, do you bring them home to Enugu and Enugu Ezike to know about the culture and everything?
Yeah. Even my children were home for this festive period.
Wow.
They came and then left first week in January back to school. My first daughter is a graduate now. She read law. My second daughter is also completing her education by next year. That one is reading biological sciences, also in London. Then my son is also reading law. Who will also finish by next year. So, and I can tell you that when I finished my education here, I read accountancy here. At the time I was done, I got admission to read law, University of London. I had also started lectures as at that time. Those days, my father had to put a call and say, "What are you actually doing in London? You have studied for me and you have graduated. You don't need any further education. Leave those ones for your children. Come back and join me." And I had to abandon that law program and return back to Nigeria. So I've traveled wide. I've also not spent more than a month or 2 months. The longest I would have spent abroad was with him when he was operated on in the US. So I think we spent about 4 months. And I had to do that because he's my dad, and I had to follow up with the surgery and all that. For my children that are schooling, my son had also on his own told me that he's coming back after his law education to come and do his law and to also join in what I am doing. And possibly he has his own ideas already, which I'm hopeful that his studies will not be a hindrance to what plans he has. And I'm encouraging him. Same thing with the girls as well.
Wow. I love that. So we can't skip the law for law, but on your You know, we have to talk about it. So how is it supporting you, even all those political career and businesses, being a lawyer?
Honestly, God so very well blessed me. I can gladly tell you that today that the woman I'm marrying has not been a disappointment. Rather, he has been. He has added. I don't know how to say it. I can't describe it.
Wow.
You know, it's undescribable. All right. On her own, she's business.
So it's a business on her own.
On her own. She's business. Everything about her is business. She, even if I'm not saying today, and you see my wife, she has represented me more than I can ever think of.
Wow.
You know, she has done so very well. All right, she has done so extremely very very well. You know, I cannot say that she is bigger than me, but I can, gladly tell you that she has done better than I am doing.
Wow. I love that. So not everybody will possibly say this to her wife. So Lord, wherever you are, we are proud of you. Creator Lord, we are proud of you. And I wish other women will see this and watch their husband praise them, because so what advice or what, like, no, I'm not coming for advice. Can you possibly say you have filled your father's shoe?
It's a shoe that cannot be filled. It's too wide, too big, too lengthy. It's not a shoe. It's when somebody is somebody that was creative. I am not creative. I can't say I created anything. It is from what he created. That is what I am developing. So how can you? It's just like God who had created us. What are we going to do that will be anywhere? You can't even this whole earth.
Yes.
We are living in it. You're talking about sheep.
So he creates your work. You are living on.
Oh yes.
So okay. So your advice to the youth who are watching us, especially those who want to be like you, because your name is ringing. Since I was born, I make it. Who want to be like your father, so but they don't want to work. They want to do keep. They want to do Yahoo. So what is your advice?
Yeah, my advice should be taken very seriously, especially to the youths, the younger ones. There is no shortcut. There is no shortcut. I expect the youth of today to be more focused. I know that things have also not been easy, and these things that are not also that easy can be, be related to the bad leadership that we are seeing in this country. Because you find out graduates coming out of school not having any work to do. Okay, look at what you guys are doing on your own. You're creating a content. Not everybody will have that mindset to sit down, and think outside the box. What can we do, for us to earn a living? Not everybody. Most guys want the easier way, and that does not help anyone. That will not also help anybody. Doing okite is all these are ways people want to present that they have. No, they are not. They have not made anything. Is it that they are in robbery, or that they are doing 419? Okite, what is Okite? It's not working. Look at what is happening in Anambra now. Almost all of them are on the run. So there's nothing like such. It's when you if you put up a good and that good you bought it for 1 naira. If you're reselling it, you're reselling for additional 1 naira. So you're making 1 naira out of it. You know?
It's a gradual process.
Yes, there is no rocket science about this. There is none. So most youths these days prefer the shortcut, and it will not help anybody. It does not. Okay. So my advice is, please bend down, be focused, prayerful, and be honest with the next person you are meeting with, because you don't know where your destiny helper will come from.